Okay, hello and welcome. This is Lynn McClelland, and I'm introducing to Paradise Valley the Syllabus Generator. Now, this Syllabus Generator originated at Mesa. Phoenix College has a version of it, and Glendale has a version of it. We got this one from Mesa and then adapted the content for Paradise Valley. What you see in front of you is the document that we will be sending out, or you may already have it by the time of this video, and it introduces the syllabus generator and provides some instructions on how to use it. I have a link. First of all, part one, I did two sets of directions. There's some people who are much better with technology, and so I did a slimmed down version for those people who are really strong tech users. And then if you scroll on down to the bottom, there's a longer set of instructions for those people who want this step by step because they're not as comfortable with technology. So both of those versions live in this document, and you can choose which ones you want to use. The generator is pretty intuitive. It is just a Google form, and you are putting, like, where it tells you to put the name of the class, you put the name of the class. Where it tells you to put your name, you put your name. It really is that simple. Can't speak. In any case, when you get this document, you are going to click on the link, and it will open the Paradise Valley Community College Syllabus Generator. And because I'm at home, it apparently is going to take a while to load. So along with this syllabus generator, the easiest way to utilize it is to also have an old syllabi open so that you can copy the content from your old syllabus into the syllabus generator. And so just as an FYI, the reason why people are creating these syllabus generators is because there is so much information that Maricopa wants us to include in our syllabus and that our campuses want to include in our syllabus. So it's really nice to be able to put all the required information is built right into the generator, and then you're just going to plop your information and your course information in the spaces allotted for it. So that's how this is going to work. So I have my syllabus from a previous semester on the right here, and I have the generator over here on the left. Let me move this over here so we have a better view here. Okay, so the first page of the syllabus generator is really just instructions. There's an explanation about why we're using it, and then there's instructions on how to use the form. And you notice down here at the bottom, there's page 1 through 12. It's a 12-page form, but page 1, there isn't anything to fill out there. And it's like, I think it's like page 9, 10, 11, and 12 all have the information that the district adds to the bottom of your syllabus. So you're really only filling out some of these pages. So once you've read through the instructions, and it says it takes about 30 minutes, then you just click Next, and you start filling in the form. So they ask you for the course title, so I'll come over here and I can either type it in, or I can just copy it in, paste it in. The course prefix, I'll go ahead and type this one in, ENH245. The course number is 36975. Format, so I'm using an old syllabus, and this was an was it? Yeah, an in-person class, so I would select in-person. There's online, hybrid. There's different choices there. You select the one that is appropriate. The term, spring 2022, 3 credit hours. Sometimes I actually just copy their wording. And then you just, okay, we've entered the first page, so we click Next, and we're on to the second page. And so if you notice here, each page has is focused on a specific I'm trying to speak here on a specific element. This is instructor information. So my name. If you want to put your credentials in, you can. I that's never heard of putting that in my syllabus, so I tend not to do that. But oops, I can't type. Then your email, and yes, I could have copied it, but you know, whatever you want to do here. Office location. See, office hours. I'm just gonna write whatever, because it doesn't matter. Phone number. I always like, for purposes of a demo, I always like to put 480-867-5209, and this definitely dates me. That was an old song. So then I can come in here and just copy and paste this badly formatted, let's see, communication policy. So I drop that in there. Teaching philosophy, if you have one. Okay. Copy that and put it in there. And then so it'll give you, if you notice here on the screen at the bottom of each page, and this was Sam's brilliant work here, he has an example of what the page would look like, what kind of information should be there, an example of a communication policy, and so you will see that on every page, an example of what it would look like. And then you click next. And so, you know, you're just going to continue to go through the form, filling each of these elements out. Here's the clue, important thing though. So if I'm teaching online, then I'm just going to put online in these places. I can enter a start date. We'll say it's I don't really know what the start date is. I'm just going to put a date in here, and 05/06. Why not? 2022. But I would obviously know that if it was a real class. And if, you know, once again, you can, if it's an in-person class, I would, you know, I said it was, I might pick Monday and Wednesday, but if it was an online class, I would select that. So you select the appropriate choice in this list. But here's something you need to understand. Even if the line doesn't apply, so like if I was teaching an online class, obviously we're not going to have a meeting time. But in order for this form to generate, I need to put a meeting time in here, and otherwise it's not going to allow me to, when I click next, I'm going to get an error message. The thing is, once you're done filling this document out, you're going to be able to go into, it's going to generate a Google Doc and send it a link to your email. Then you can go in and edit, reformat things. If you don't like the way it looks, you can change some of the fonts. You can fix the spacing. You can add bullets. And in a case like this, if I was teaching an online class, I would get rid of the meeting time. And then it asks you, this is a 3-credit course, so I would just click on the radio dial next to 3-credit course. And then it gets into the course description, and let's see, this is the last page I'm going to do in full on camera, because I don't think you need to see me fill out an entire document. And if you do, give me a call and we'll take the time to work on that with you in person on campus. So you put the course description from the district, course competencies, and then click next. And I'm going to continue to work my way through the syllabus generator until I'm done. And I'm going to pause here because I'm going to finish filling this syllabus generator out off camera, so you don't have to sit here and watch me do this. And then I will come back and go over the final steps of once you get the email with the document, what the next steps are. Okay? Talk to you in a few minutes. Okay, welcome back. So I finished filling out the syllabus generator. I'm on, if you notice here at the bottom, I'm on page 12 of 12. And while all the other pages had a next button to it, when you get to the final page, you will see submit. And you click on that button, and then you get this page, and it gives you the option of submitting another syllabus generator. What happens is this form is filled out, and then you get a link to the Google document that is created from this syllabus generator. And so if I go to my email, I should see eventually a link pop up to the syllabus generator. Now I'm going to sit here once again and keep this camera on my email, so I will come back once that form gets generated and shows up in my email. Okay, so a few minutes passed, and lo and behold, I got the syllabus in my email, say syllabus PVCC form publisher, and when I open it, a new file has been generated. Open in Google Docs. And so it opens this document, but this document does not yet exist in your files in Google. This is still sitting somewhere else. And so the first thing you do before you start editing and cleaning anything up is to go to File here within this document. There we go. Open Sesame. And I'm going to click Move. You can also click Move up here, but you click Move, and it's going to show the form publisher. Whoop. It drives me crazy how fast it does it. Okay, so you're going to click Move. It's going to show the form publisher here, and I'm going to start clicking that back button until I get to my own drive. And then I click Move here, and it moves that document over from the form publisher output folder to my own drive. And now I own this document, and I can dismiss that information because now it exists in my own Google Drive, and it's mine to mess around with, and I'm no longer editing something that exists in another file on another in another folder on a different somebody else's own site. So now I can come through and start editing anything that, any of the organization that doesn't look right. And so it might be, maybe I want to bold information so it stands out more. Maybe, and there should be let's see, I'm missing a number here because this is the course competencies. I might want to just get rid of these numbers and then use the numbering system up there to format this so it's not so crazy looking. So I can come through there now and highlight it and click numbers. Whoops. Yeah, that worked out well, didn't it? But we can fix that. And now it's going to look prettier than it did. Whoops. If I can type. And so you can go through and fix these different elements in the syllabus so that it looks the way you want it to when you give it to your students. Now, the other thing to think about is, what if I'm teaching 3 or 4 sections of this? So I can make a copy and so that I have multiple copies of this. So if I'm teaching a class on Mondays and Wednesdays, maybe I have a version that's the Monday, Wednesday version of it. Maybe this one's online, and so now I can come into my copy and start editing. I can change the section number, I can change the format, and maybe this is 77, and like I said, man, this thing's slow. This is online, but I can start going through and fixing some of the elements that I need to fix. I don't have to go back to the generator and start filling that whole thing out all over again if I'm teaching multiple sections of the same course. And so that's it. That's how the syllabus generator works. This is a quick little video, probably longer than you wanted, but as quick as I can make it, on how to use it. So thanks for listening. If you have any questions, reach out to Sam Ferlino and I. We're glad to help, and have a great day.